We like to think of our history books and scientific timelines as settled facts. You learn the dates, you memorize the eras, and you assume the story of our planet is neatly mapped out from start to finish. But there is a massive blind spot in those timelines. Most evidence we use to piece together our past comes from dry land, the places we can easily walk, dig, and build on. The moment researchers drop beneath the surface, those neat and tidy histories start to crack. Under miles of high-pressure, freezing, pitch-black water, professionals keep stumbling into anomalies that the established academic record struggles to explain. Today, we'll look at 3 times a routine underwater mission accidentally hooked a secret that required us to recalculate what we thought we knew about the ancient world. In 2007, an archaeologist was scanning the frigid bottom of Lake Michigan with sonar. He was looking for a completely standard, long-lost shipwreck. Instead of a wooden hull, his screen lit up with a perfectly straight, mile-long line of heavy stones. Following this deliberate path across the lake bed, he found it ended in a massive, perfect circle, right next to a deep trench. When the media caught wind of this, they immediately branded it as sort of underwater spiritual Stonehenge, guessing it was a sacred site built 10,000 years ago. Research from a similar site in Lake Huron identified these as drive lines, intricate hunting traps built specifically to target migrating herds of caribou. Ancient native hunters understood a highly specific biological quirk of the caribou. They have an instinctual compulsion to follow straight lines and distinct paths as they travel. This diagram shows how hunters exploited that habit. By arranging heavy stones into a massive V shape, they funneled the herds down a manufactured corridor into a terminal circle. With hunters in ambush behind rocks and an uncrossable trench blocking escape, the animals were trapped. A submerged line of stones of this length proves the people living in North America millennia ago were highly calculated hunters who possessed the coordination to modify the physical landscape to their advantage. In 2023, a British oil and gas company was running a deep-sea robot a full mile below the surface of the Mediterranean Sea, about 55 miles off the coast of Israel. The engineers spotted a strange bump on the seafloor. At first glance, it looked like a pile of natural rubble, but closer inspection revealed hundreds of clay jars resting tightly together, forming the perfectly preserved outline of a 40-foot-long ship. They managed to carefully extract a few of these jars and run carbon dating on the organic residues inside, which likely contained olive oil or wine. The results showed the vessel was 3,300 years old. Previous theories suggested Bronze Age sailors lacked the technology to navigate open water. The consensus was that they traveled by hugging the coastlines, keeping land in sight to avoid getting lost. Look at this map comparing the accepted Bronze Age routes with the actual discovery site. The solid line represents the standard coastal hugging route, but the wreck itself sits 55 miles out in the open ocean, far from any visible landmark. As the oldest deep-water shipwreck ever recorded, its location suggests that ancient mariners possessed navigation skills that modern science previously thought were impossible for that era. Our final anomaly goes much further back in time. On a morning in December 1938, a fisherman off the coast of South Africa hauled in his nets and found a 5-foot-long, glowing blue creature thrashing among the regular catch. Experts identified it as a coelacanth. Fossil records indicated this exact species died out 65 million years ago, presumably lost during the dinosaur extinction event. Its biology is significantly different from other modern fish. Instead of thin fins, it navigates using 4 thick, fleshy appendages packed with bone, moving them in an alternating pattern exactly like a horse walking on land. This diagram shows the coelacanth's highly specialized skull. A unique joint allows the upper jaw to swing upward, swallowing prey whole. Its rostral organ detects faint electrical pulses from nearby animals. Finally, dense fat fills 99% of its skull to withstand deep-sea pressure. It also bypasses laying eggs entirely, incubating them internally and giving birth to fully formed live young. The discovery of a live coelacanth proved that the isolation of the ocean depths can preserve species through events that wipe out life on the surface. It is a biological time capsule from an era we assumed was gone. A native hunting trap, a Bronze Age cargo ship, and a prehistoric fish. All 3 were perfectly preserved and completely hidden by deep water. These accidental discoveries show us that our scientific and historical textbooks are working drafts built on the sliver of evidence we happen to have found on dry land. When you consider that oceans and deep lakes cover 71% of the planet, you realize we have barely begun to inventory the Earth's past. It makes you wonder what other secrets are waiting down in the dark, requiring just one accidental sonar ping or one lucky fishing net to change the way we see our world.